Hello, eRank. Welcome to the live Q&A with me, Pam Duffy, her, Starla, and him, Anthony. We've got a special guest on today.
I love that you said her and Anthony popped up.
Yeah.
Oh, did he pop up on your? I clicked you first, but it didn't. Oh, technology! It all just jumped up at once. But yeah, you're next to me on my screen. So.
All right. We've got fun stuff planned for today, guys. For everybody who had questions about the new additions to the Keyword Explorer, we're going to be looking at those. I know that I certainly have had like 6,000 messages about the new Etsy Share and Save program. So we're going to talk briefly about that. But did we have any other news and announcements that we want to make before we get rolling?
No, I might save a bit for the end.
Save some for the end?
Ooh,
All
right.
right.
He's teasing, yeah.
All right. Well, we did have some really good blogs. We have, I'll just link the whole blog page because we've got quite a few good ones. We've got our top Etsy searches, our top keywords on Etsy, and we also have top shopper searches on Amazon for August. So I will go ahead and pop that in. We've also got a couple Halloween themed fun blogs. So be sure to check those out. Pam on this channel did a really great quick video of the Keyword Explorer. If for any reason you're watching this, during the replay and you're like, I don't want to sit and watch an hour of that, check the chat. There is a link in there for a very quick overview of what we're going to be discussing today. And I'm also going to drop in the article for the new Etsy Share and Save program, which they introduced yesterday. There's also a Q&A in the Etsy community from Etsy staff. I'm not going to link it because it got negative really fast.
Oh, already? Oh.
Yeah, well,
I was waiting because they're going to start answering that tomorrow, so I wasn't reading.
Maybe they'll delete some of the negativity that was posted.
Yeah, that's such a shame because I see I see Etsy like training a dog. So if they do something good, you don't want to punish them for good. You want to be like, here, have a cookie. Good Etsy. So when they do good stuff, tell them they've done good stuff. Don't go shouting at them.
We already got a question. What do you think of the new Share and Save feature? Hey, we'll get there. Give us just 1 second for a couple more. We've got 47 actually. We're probably good to start talking about it. Everybody's
yeah. Are we good on Facebook as well, or is it just on YouTube? I'm only seeing.
Oh, I didn't know that we were streaming on Facebook. I had no idea.
We're supposed to be dual streaming because we're using the other software.
We are. Yes, we are on Facebook.
Awesome. Yee.
All right. Well, while I'm getting that chat, Pam, do you want to start by briefly talking about what this Share and Save program is before we get into tool demos?
Yeah, absolutely. So for those that missed it, and Starla has put the links, Etsy just announced yesterday the Share and Save, which is just going to be if you share your shop or your listings from your social media, I believe in emails, or give your family and friends links to your shop. If you sign up for this, which is a simple one-click thing, I did it earlier today. If you sign up for this, Etsy will give you slightly different links, and if you use them, then Etsy will take off 4% of your bill, basically. So it's kind of, I think it looks kind of cool. There's no hardship for you. It looks like if you've signed up, you get the share links from the Etsy Studio. If you've got the app, those are the links that you'll get. So it's not even going to be any more difficult. Once you've signed up, those will be the automatic links. You can change for something like Instagram or something where you have your shop linked at the top in your bio or something, just change the way your shop's shared there. It's yourshop.etsy.com. Now if you share it like that and you're signed up to the Share and Save, then anybody who clicks on that and buys anything from your shop, it doesn't cost you so much. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. Yeah,
this is a good thing, guys. I know a couple people are like, what's the catch? where's the catch to this? And we don't see any negative associated with this. This is something really cool. And we know that a lot of you are concerned about sellers who are selling things on the platform that they shouldn't be selling, like, drop shipping and things like that. You have to consider that the people who are drop shipping and just selling a bunch of cheap junk that they bought on Alibaba, for example, they don't have big social media followings. They don't have email lists. They don't have anywhere that they can share these links, which means that Etsy is rewarding those who have actually built brands. This is a good thing. If you have somewhere to share these links, that means that you have clearly built a brand that is worth recognizing. So this is a positive thing.
Hmm. I also think it complements Etsy's advertising as well. So it's going to bring more people in. They may not stop at your shop. They may go elsewhere. And guess what? Those people that brought people to their shop may come to your shop next. So I think there'd be a nice network effect that goes on if enough people participate.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, it might encourage people to share a little bit more, because I know people have been wary. Some people spam their social media already, and some people are wary about sharing it at all. So there's no bad thing about sharing it in a good way. So yeah, if it encourages those people that have a good following but don't share, then it's good for all of us.
Awesome. All right. Well, we have 62 who have joined us live. So I think that we're good to start our demo if you're ready, Anthony.
Okay.
Awesome.
Let me share my screen.
Perfect.
All right, I've probably got to click a lot of buttons to get this to work. Let's.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that might work if I.
There we go.
Yay.
And for those asking questions, we'll get to all of you right when we are done.
Okay, let me see if I can zoom in a tiny bit more. How's that?
Let us know if you guys can see it.
Okay. So we've been busy working on some pretty big improvements to the Keyword Explorer. This is based on a lot of feedback people have been giving us. The classic example is I'm looking for something and I get a whole bunch of keywords for SVG and a whole bunch of keywords with the word SVG in it, and I don't sell SVG, so they're pointless. They're not useful for me. That's just one example. So we've looked into ways to efficiently pulling back, one, more results, and two, give you the ability to exclude words or include words if there are, well, depending on whatever your needs are. So enough preamble. I'm going to give you a quick demo. And the way I think of this is it's a great way for you to go from, say, spotting trends and things like that in TrendBuzz and getting into a point where you're refining and narrowing down and finding long tail keywords that are related to your product. So what I thought I'd do here is I just went into the TrendBuzz. I'm going to click on Halloween. Seems topical right now, right? And then we will basically drill into the Keyword Explorer and how we can help you narrow down from a broad keyword like that to finding some pretty handy long tail keywords. So you'll notice we've got this interim page in here. I just wanted to put this in front of people just to let you know that we are now providing you with rich keyword data for Amazon and eBay, as well as Walmart, Target, and Etsy. So just check that out when you have a chance. I might even show that at the end of this demo.
Awesome.
So anyway, I'm going to dig into Etsy. So I just clicked on that, waiting for it to load up. Okay, so not a lot's changed at the top end of the page. You know, you've got your keyword stats, the trend information, what country the searches are in. But here's where it gets really interesting now. So we've got two types of matching. So phrase match, basically, if I was to search for Halloween decor, or actually if I was to search for decor Halloween, then it would bring back related searches which have decor and Halloween in it, or Halloween and decor in it. That's phrase match. So it's the words you entered in, you know, any sort of order. Exact match is more exact. So it basically says, okay, show me related searches that contain Halloween decor, if I search for Halloween decor, but it has to be in that order and there can't be any words in between it. So that's what those two are. So I encourage you to experiment around with them. The key thing to note is that if you're looking for more results, use phrase match. If you're looking for stuff that's really, really specific and maybe not as many results, I would switch to exact match. But generally, I recommend phrase match is the way to go. So you can go through here, you'll see that we've got a whole bunch of keywords in here, just like the old tool, but you'll notice we've got more results in here now. And that's one of the benefits, or one of the improvements that we made, was bringing back more keywords from our database. So you'll see a lot more long tail keywords in here, some stuff that's very seasonal, but gives you additional ideas. Just because you don't see a lot of data in here doesn't mean people aren't looking for it. We just don't know what every person does on Etsy. But if I see a bit of a sign of life from last year, I say, okay, maybe this is a good keyword for my listing. I'll get back up to the top and take a breath. I get so excited to get to breathe sometimes. Okay, so now I can already see a couple of things that annoy me. Say for example, Halloween PNG. I'm not interested in that. I don't create PNGs. I don't do SVGs. And what I want to do is I want to exclude PNG. So I just type in PNG, hit enter, and that's in there. If I wanted to exclude SVG, type that in, hit enter, and then apply. So it'll go and fetch the data again, but this time there won't be results containing SVG or PNG. So trust me, it'll be, there it is. Okay. So now you'll see no PNGs in there. So now let's say I specialize in decor. So I'm going to now say, okay, only give me the phrases that contain decor. And of course, they're Halloween phrases and they're containing decor and not containing SVG and not containing PNG. So same thing, I just typed in decor, hit enter, and I'll go and apply now. It'll go and fetch the data again. Boom, boom, boom.
This is especially great for those of you who have, you know, over the years, we've gotten so many questions, you know, oh, I keep getting search terms that are completely irrelevant. I'm only getting digital related keywords. Or Pam had a great example of, you know, well, I'm selling a nose ring, but I'm getting results for engagement rings and belly rings and toe rings. And or if you sell things for mouse owners, if you make a search for mouse, you're going to get tons of Mickey Mouse related results. So you might want to filter Mickey out of the search. There's just so many different ways that you guys can use this.
Yeah, we had feedback from people, say Father's Day was a great example. Our old system used a broad match, which basically said, give me any results that contain any of these words. And Father's Day, unfortunately, gets swamped by Mother's Day. So you would see Mother's Day results when you're looking for Father's Day. So the results will be much more relevant now as well. So that's the improvements we made to the related searches, the filtering, and the new matching type. So how about we now look at Amazon?
Yeah, let's do it.
So what's popular on Amazon at the moment? You know, maybe I'll go back to Trendos. How about I do this? Same sort of process. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to select Amazon. Going to see what is popular here. Oh, the samurai turned pretty. Okay. I'm going to pick on laptop. That's more of an Amazon query I'm familiar with. So I'm a bit of a geek. I like my gadgets. So, all right. Amazon. Click on there. Amazon is a tad slower because we have got a truckload more data for Amazon than we do Etsy.
Amazon is significantly bigger than Etsy.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Okay. Yeah. So One thing you may notice if you've got a keen eye, there's no competition in here. And we're still working on that, but I didn't want to delay this any longer because I think the competition is going to take a month or so before we've accumulated enough data to give you an indication of the competition. So there you have it. That's the basic sort of stats at the top. Not too different from what you've seen before. You will see a few other countries appear in here just because we got more international data for Amazon as well. So same sort of deal. I can be looking in here and going, okay, laptop. I might be looking for a specific brand, say Samsung, and let's see what we come back with there. So again, same sort of deal. I'm just showing you this one just as a little bit of repetition, so you see me using the filters, but two, just to help you change gears and go, oh, there is something on Amazon as well. So there we have it. We've got Amazon, and maybe I'm not interested in cases or chargers. I apply that again.
We did have somebody who said that the link I was given is not any different than what I've been using all along. What am I missing? So what you might be looking at the top of the page and thinking, this looks a lot like the keyword tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what Pam and I constantly talk about when we're talking about keyword research. The Keyword Explorer, for a long time, it wasn't a tool that was used as much. But if you go into your tools tab and you click on the Keyword Explorer, the things that we're talking about today, when you scroll down to that list of keyword ideas, you're going to see a lot of new features. And if you missed all of that, make sure that you watch this video. I'll pop it into the chat because it will kind of go through some of the quick points that we've been talking about.
Can I just double check if they were on about this or the share and save links?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm not sure.
That's because we used to always be able to share our Etsy shop under shopname.etsy.com. So it's, it can be the exact same thing. But just let us know what you were asking about there.
And all the other questions we'll get to you guys here in just a few minutes.
Okay, and the last one I'm going to show is eBay. Great place to sell, stuff that is in your garage or basement. So I don't know how many of you sell on eBay. I'd be very curious if there's any eBay sellers on the chat. So let us know. PS5's been a popular one for a good year and a bit now, I think. So again, same deal. I can go through here and search the related keywords, get ideas on how I can describe my PS5 and sell it on eBay. So here you go. On the topic of keyword tool, I know there's a lot of confusion between what tool to use when, and we've got a lot of feedback from people about, can you make it a bit easier so we don't have to switch between the two? So we are merging the keyword tool and the Keyword Explorer together. So I'll show more of that probably next month, but we're aware of that feedback and we're going to bring the two together so that you can easily see all the information that you need for Etsy. And if you need to switch over to one of the other marketplaces, you can just switch very easily as well without navigating between two different tools, or sometimes going into one tool by mistake and then go, I'm in the wrong spot, and then switching over. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, we've only got one person about eBay that I can see so far, and that's Nope on selling on eBay. Heard bad things.
Oh yeah. It's my wife stopped selling there, I'd say almost 10 years ago. It was a bit of a gong show.
Yeah, same. I think I tried about 10 years ago, but I just found for selling handmade, people just wanted cheap. It was tough.
Yeah.
I think it's servicing a different market. And it's not for, if you're pure handmade, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a great place for you. But if you're about, you know, a bit of a side hustle and alternative revenue streams, then there is still good there. I mean, eBay still gets a truckload of users in there buying stuff. It's just a different beast.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, we're done with
Yeah,
the
we're done
screen.
sharing.
Okay. Hey, Jane, we had a comment from her. She said that she'd like to know why we don't respond to emails. Are you sure that you're hitting the correct email address? Because our team is pretty darn responsive. But if not, in the bottom right-hand corner, when you're logged into eRank, we do have a chat system, and that goes directly to our support staff. So we
It's a note
definitely
right now if you like. I'll have it open in the background.
Yeah, message us right now. We'll check it out. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to scroll back to some of the questions that we had earlier on. Let me see. Oh man, we've had lots of comments today. Okay, so somebody had said, please add the ability to export specific columns of data rather than all of the data from each module.
Yep. That's a great idea. It's a very common request, and we're going to be doing it. So we've got some prototypes in place that I've seen. Quite happy with what I'm seeing. It just takes some time to get it right and test it and make sure it's cross-browser compatible. So bear with us. It is coming.
Awesome. All right. Here's a common question that we get just about every week. So I'll be excited to hear you have to answer this one, Anthony. Get ready. Get ready. All right. I noticed that the keyword data from eRank and Everbee differ immensely, search numbers as well as competition numbers. I suppose that there's an explanation for that. I'm just wondering what it is. Pam and I answer this question just about once a week.
Yeah. I can't comment on how other companies get their keyword data. So that's first and foremost. Competition, we get directly from Etsy. We don't filter it in any way, whatever. But the Etsy API differs from what you get off the Etsy site. So on the Etsy site, they add in personalization, they add in ads. So you will see invariably their competition number is higher than what we provide. So as you know, on our site, we have a little bar that sits behind that competition number. So the more red that bar gets, the tougher it is. So I wouldn't fixate too much on that number unless you're trying to split hairs. I would be looking at, is that bar all the way across? Is it fully red or very close to it? And that will tell you that it's tough. So, and that is extremely accurate. We look at that and we can stack rank it from the most competitive keywords to the least. So rely on that more than the actual number. I know some of you are very number driven. I prefer relative strength or weakness of a keyword, not so much the actual number. Otherwise, you get really fixated in areas where you don't need to. But we have both there. So that's how we get the competition number. That's from Etsy. Can't tell you about the other guys. Don't know. We're not on talking terms. Well, they can email me. In terms of the search volume, again, no idea what other companies do, but we get our data from trusted third-party data sources. These are people that have installed browser extensions and things like that on their computer, and they've opted in to sharing their data anonymously. So our data providers gather that, they strip out any other anonymous data that may have been accidentally put in there, then they pass it over to us, and with that, we're able to give you estimated search volumes. So again, their estimates, like the competition, sometimes there's not too much value in looking at the raw numbers because our algorithm is probably, or is definitely different to everyone else's, but look at the relative popularity. So if you've got a big fat green bar for a keyword, you know that's very popular. If it's like a little narrow red line, not very popular. So focus on that, the relative popularity. That's what I would do. I had another point and it's escaped me. It'll come back later.
All right. Yeah, a couple people. That makes sense. I've been wondering about that for years. Yeah, we get that question all the time.
Yeah. I remember my other point. I emphasize estimates because that's a key thing here. The data does not come, like the search volume data, that does not come from Etsy. So that is definitely an estimate. So anyone that's telling you, no, this is real data, it's 100% accurate, run for the hills because they're full of BS. We provide estimates, and that's it. I want to be very clear and transparent about that. Actually, we have been since day one.
Yeah. And Pam always has a great analogy that it's the same way that TV ratings are gathered. It's families who opted in to have their little box hooked up to their TV so that, you would know what the TV, how many people are watching certain shows. It's same thing, but on the internet.
Yeah. I must say on that, it's based on real people's behavior. It's not based on, I heard, and this is quite a reputable company, they look at the search box on Etsy or Amazon, and they look at these suggestions, and then they infer search volume based on that. And they really talk it up. It's like, it's the best, blah, blah, blah. It's not the best. It's based on what their system spat out to a bot, not what an actual person searched for. So, there's some interesting methodologies out there.
Yeah, that search bar, it's very buyer centric. It's telling you as a consumer on Etsy what Etsy has to offer, but it doesn't necessarily indicate that there's demand at any given time for that particular query. And we all know that, certain queries go up and down, like face masks. We had a huge spike in those for a while, but now I would assume that it's probably gone significantly down. So trends move month by month, and sometimes you got to keep an eye on them. The cool thing about eRank is that data gets updated monthly, so you can go in and see, oh wow, face masks are on the decline. Maybe I shouldn't make 6,000 listings for new face masks.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, we update monthly, but you can also go into trend bars, and for Etsy US and other markets, I think UK, we're updating daily. So we can't provide an estimate for the monthly numbers because it's only a partial month, but you can go in there and see what the most popular keywords were for yesterday or the previous 7 days. So if you really want finger on the pulse sort of stuff, that's a great way to do it as well.
Yeah, but bear in mind, like Anthony said about not getting into the weeds, it's like the numbers are there to give you an idea of keywords to test. Even if we had the exact right numbers from Etsy, whether that works for your shop depends on how buyers interact as well. So there's a whole load of variation there. So it gives you ideas of keywords that you can test in your listings, but don't spend hours trying to pick out, which one has 20 more searches or something. Just literally, you've seen how Anthony looks through them. You've seen myself and Starla look through keywords. It's like, that looks good. And then that's about the extent of it. Don't spend hours trying to get the right numbers.
Oh yeah, I was just optimizing some listings in the new shop that I'm building, and I was spending all of about 3 to 4 minutes per listing. And I remember when I first started my Etsy journey, and I had like 6 notebooks and sticky notes all over my monitor, and I would spend days optimizing these listings. And it's just give it a good glance, test, experiment, track. If you notice that something isn't working, don't be afraid to change it up in a few months. All right. Debbie had said, when does Share and Save start? It's already started. I just had one of my students posted a screenshot. She got a sale from TikTok, and there's a little green badge that showed up right on her order that said that it was from Share and Save. So you'll actually be able to see which orders came in from that program. And she had said, are they actually going to give us unique links or just the general link? There is a special link. What was it, Pam, the order of the...
It's yourshopname.etsy.com for your shop. And also it's something similar. I've already signed up for it. And it's basically, again, it's yourshopname.etsy.com, something, and your listing ID. And there's a whole string extra, but it doesn't... I don't know, but I don't think you need the whole string extra like everything else. But yeah, that's your main one for your shop. When you're in your listings or on the app, you can click on any of your listings and they'll give you that shareable link. But I'm sure Anthony will be investigating it all not long as well to see what's going
Add that to
on.
my list.
But yeah, they give us links, and yeah, they track it by seeing that people click through from the thing that says your shop name, because it only works if they buy from your shop. So anything that says your shop name.etsy.com, someone clicks on that and buys something from the shop that matches your shop name, then you're credited it. So I'm sure other people could share your link and you would get the money as well. Like if your mom started, you gave her the link and she started sharing.
Fun. All right. Ryan said, when verifying a cross niche for terms like nurse mom, how would you go about verifying the blend of two niches? How do you know that there would be enough demand and low enough competition? eRank.
Sounds like something you would do, Starla, or used to.
What a niche within a niche?
Yeah.
If it were me, I would type in that exact combination of words. I would type in nurse mom and then scroll down to the recommended keyword suggestions and see what eRank shot out and see if they're, obviously if nobody's searching for nurse mom, well, maybe there's a different combination of those terms. Maybe it's, I don't know, nurse mommy. Yeah, I don't think anybody's actually searching for that, but maybe it's a combination of terms that I wouldn't have thought to use, or maybe there's a sweet spot in there that I would have never considered. But I would just start by typing that phrase in and then scrolling down to that keyword ideas box.
Yeah, with this one right now, I'd probably use the keyword tool to find, because that's also going to show you what other people are using as tags, which might give you some even more ideas. But when we merge them, that'll be a job for the merge tool.
Yeah, it's very niche. I'm just looking at the results now, and I'm seeing a handful here. I suspect that, well, what you're looking at is the recipient. I would look at what the product is you're selling to these recipients and think about adding that to your phrase or your research, because it tells me nothing about what you're selling. So is it in here? I'm just having a read here again.
Like a niche within a niche. So
yeah, Ryan, let us know what you're selling. But I'd be looking at that and then nurse, or that and mum, and why not do both?
Yeah, and not to mention, like, say the nurse mom suggestion. Okay, there are a lot of nurses and there are a lot of moms, but not all moms are nurses. However, I dare say that quite a few nurses are moms. So I would start with the more niche term, target those nurses, and then if they see that mom related product, maybe it's a shirt, maybe you're targeting keywords, nurse shirt, and that nurse happens to be a mom, then she might see that and think, wow, this is made just for me. Whereas I dare say that a very small percentage of moms are nurses. Does that make sense? I think that targeting the smaller niche would actually be the better approach if you were going to go one direction.
Absolutely. I was just thinking, like, I doubt, well, there are some very, very niche shops and that totally could work. But in my head, I would be saying nurse mom could be like one range of your products, but your shop could be focused on nurses. So you would see what other things people are looking for nurse. That might give you more chance. Because literally, I've never really heard that much as a term that people are talking about.
Yeah, Ryan just said he's selling shirts. I don't know if you saw that already. But I just looked up nurse shirt, and there's a lot more demand in there. So I'd be focusing on that first and foremost. So like Starla said, start with a nurse.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Can you talk about the second column of the search trend bar? How much should we rely on that? Second column of the search trend bar.
That'd be clicks, is it?
Can you elaborate?
Oh,
Whoever
the search
asked the
trend
question?
bar. Yeah.
Feel free to let us know, Jane. I will, if you put in your second part to that question, I will
Yeah. Do
prioritize
you want
it.
to share my screen?
Yeah, can you send it back to me? I deleted so I wasn't snooping on what you were looking at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to
just,
see if that email came in from, was it Jane? I haven't seen that come in yet.
All right. But yeah, if you hit it to share again, I can pop you up
Of
again.
course. Yes. Oops, let me close the old one.
Yeah, I figured you meant the second column. All right.
Oh.
There we go. Oh, I'm giant.
I've shrunk you again.
Okay, so did we get clarification there? It meant the second column. So this column here?
Oh, it could be character count, or
yeah. Just meant, should we rely on the search trend column? Yeah, generally I would. So especially if it's seasonal products that you're selling, I'd be I'd want to be targeting those keywords just as the season is about to kick off. So Halloween, maybe I would have started targeting that last month, but this month I think is still okay. So that's where I would be really looking at the search trend. What was one I was looking at recently, and it's really diminished. Oh, it's going to escape me. Crap, it's not going to come back. So other times when I'm looking at the search trend, I'm looking to see if it's worthwhile investing a lot of time and money in a particular niche or category. So if you're seeing something that is just going down, probably not too wise to spend a lot of time in there, unless that low number is still a very huge number. But if it's gone from like 100,000 down to 100, probably not a good use of your time. Also keep in mind that trend graph, it's a 15-month window. So we give you a few extra months at the other end, just so you can see what it was like this time last year, next month. So what are we now? September, October, and November. You'll get a window of September, October, and November from last year as well. So you'll get a bit of an idea of whether there's been consistent interest in a product, whether it's choppy, whether it's a small burst and then nothing. And we do see a lot of that, especially if Etsy are promoting something, or if there's an influencer, blogs or put something on TikTok and talks about whatever it is they discovered. Some of that stuff can pop up and then disappear and go from 2,000 searches to next to nothing the next month.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, for people who haven't realized, that search trend, that those bars, see the search trend graph up at the top center? That's the search trend graph for what you search in nurse shirt. And if you look at the related searches, the search trend, the bars there, that's just that graph, just shown as a bar chart. So it's just a quick way to see the trend graphs for all the other related keywords. So it's a nice little shortcut if you like looking at graphs, which I totally do, to see there's some good examples there of just spikes out of nowhere. Sometimes that happen, or is it falling off? Is it increasing? Is it seasonal? I love those little graphs.
They're neat. The other thing, I don't know if you just saw me do this, but I clicked on the sort icon next to search trend. So if you're selling, I've stuck with nurse shirt here. If you click on that, you will see what was trending in this list here, the most, what were the most search terms last month. So you can see Halloween nurse shirt. So already I'm getting some validation because I see Halloween popping up. So it's kind of neat as well. So if you're looking for stuff that's timely and related to what you're trying to sell, that's a very handy column to sort by from time to time. Don't just rely on the average searches.
All right.
Okay. I'll stop sharing now.
Sorry, I'm going in and typing some questions or some responses in the chat. Okay, so every week we get we get questions about the Chrome extension, and we told them last week, we're like, it's mine and Pam's fault that the Chrome extension, because Anthony was ready he was ready for it, and me and Pam were like, wait, one more thing.
Yeah, wait. Stop. So yeah, Chrome extension. It is so close. I really like the way it's looking now. We took Starla and Pam's advice and went, okay, well, let's make it a bit more useful and practical. So I'm going to save that for another Q&A, but I will probably start asking people next week who would like to be a beta tester.
Ooh.
So it's not ready for main, release into the Chrome store just yet, but I need some friendly people who are going to give us some very candid feedback. Hey, Anthony, this sucks, or this is cool, but, I don't need the pat on the back. I need the cool, but there's a problem here, or I'm on this screen and it could be so much more useful if we do that. And what we're looking for is just some validation, but also, are we missing something? We've got a whole bunch of people testing it at the moment, but not everyone in the company here is an active seller on Etsy. So we will need your input there. So I'll look out for that. Word of warning, because it won't be in the store just yet, you'll need to do a thing called side loading, which is a little tricky. So, if you're interested and you're slightly technical, then we will be very keen to get your feedback.
So where are they going to hear about that? Is that going to be on Facebook or here, or where do
We might do it in the Q&A.
Oh, Q&A. Okay, so guys, you'll have to keep an eye. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and keep an eye out.
Yeah, good call.
All right. We've got about 15-ish minutes, so we'll try to speed round some questions because I know that we have quite a few. Max G's Racing said, when updating keywords and titles on a listing, how long before the Etsy search and advertising engines will change the ranking?
So a lot of speculation about how quickly the ranking changes. The matching, which is the other part of SEO, the matching is almost instantaneous. So if you remove a good keyword, you'll notice your views drop immediately. So that much I can tell you. I've heard from 30 days to 90 days. I think it has to do with the age of your shop, your listing quality score, how competitive your product or your niche is, things like that. But that's my theory. Starla, Pam, we got anything official from Etsy?
Nothing official from Etsy. What we sort of see is definitely, if you make changes, if you go ahead and renew the listing, that does
gives it a bit of a jolt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, hey, Etsy, I've made a change.
Yeah, don't go in and up.
Right? I haven't seen it last for very long, that little jolt.
Oh no, it's a tiny jolt, but it does seem to, just to quicken up them noticing the algorithm. I think.
Yeah, what I've observed personally is if I've got, we'll say, a blue cup, and for some reason I've decided to go in and change that to, my blue cups are sold out, here's a red cup. Ideally you would create a new listing for that, but if I were going to switch that blue cup to a red cup and I change those blue keywords to red keywords, and I didn't go in and hit that renew button and I popped into the eRank rank checker, I would not see myself anywhere for those red cup new keywords. When I personally have done this, I tend to see within 30 minutes that I am at least being found somewhere in those, top results. Now, like Anthony said, you do tend to drop off It's not like, you know, if suddenly you have some high rank that you're going to maintain that. Etsy boosts those listings in search. And a lot of people, they try to abuse this. They go in and they, you know, mark all their listings in the back end, pay the 20 cents per listing and renew them every day. Well, what that's telling Etsy is that even with that little boost that Etsy gives to new listings, that listing still isn't selling, which could result in Etsy showing that listing to less people. So don't try to game the system. But in my experience, what I've observed every time that I have made major keyword changes, I tend to go in and renew that listing and then kind of keep an eye on it.
Yeah, just the once or so. The advertising, the only thing I've seen is Etsy do say to run the ads for about 30 days, but they don't say anything cool happens with that. They're just it gives them time to learn about it. But yeah, I've not done much testing on the advertising. It's more difficult to do because we can't rank check adverts.
All right. Let's see. We have a suggestion or a wish. It would be awesome if we could also get worldwide combined numbers instead of just one geographic region at a time in the keyword
Makes sense.
tool.
Yep. Okay. We'll do it.
He's taking notes.
I made a note. Yeah.
It just
right.
before I lose it, I've just seen one from Facebook that I want to hit straight away.
I've been ignoring Facebook. I did not mean to do that. Sorry, guys.
No, it's because I get them all through Be Live just now, but I just saw this one and I was told a couple of days ago in another group, never give a direct link as it ruins your conversion rate.
We hear that a lot.
This is exactly the opposite of what the share and save initiative is about. What are you doing? You're sharing a direct link. Of course, it's not going to affect your conversion rate. Your conversion rate, if you're looking at ranking, is based on how many times people buy your product after searching for a specific keyword. I think there's no correlation at all there. I think it's a great question to ask Etsy. I don't know whether they'll answer it or dodge it, but yeah, I call BS on that advice.
Wait a minute, Pam, didn't you ask them?
I did. When I was doing the Etsy shop camp, I had access to some of the SEO experts because they were legally checking my presentations. So I asked them at that point, and yep, total shop conversion rate from people coming from social media. The algorithm doesn't particularly care about that. It's exactly what Anthony said. It's how you convert when you're shown to customers when they're searching for a specific keyword and your ranking power. The conversion, it only counts for that keyword. So if you find yourself being shown for some irrelevant things and people aren't clicking, all that's going to happen is the algorithm will go, oh, you're not relevant for that one thing, but you're relevant for this other thing. It is a good deal more clever than that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would make zero sense for them to hurt us for bringing people in from social media. They want that. It's free customers.
Yeah, we see it all the time where people will be on like TikTok and in the Etsy groups, don't share your links, don't, like, what would that benefit Etsy to penalize us for bringing them traffic? You know, it's a common misconception. If you've heard it, you know, just roll your eyes when you see it and know that, you know better now. So Belinda has a reference in here, and I'm sure that this is some reference that only Anthony will know, because she says that she said hi from sparrow fart o'clock in Australia.
That's a technical Australian term for very early in the morning.
Perfect. We say the butt crack of dawn here. So.
Hey, Belinda. How are you?
But she said, Anthony, I was hoping I could ask a favor. Could we have the search bar at the top of the page connected to the keyword tool and not the keyword explorer? Anthony, I believe I requested the same thing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I believe I ignored it too. So no is the short answer. But the good answer, I think, that you like is that when we merge the keyword tool and the keyword explorer together, the default behavior will be Etsy. So yeah, in essence, it's a yes. So yeah, just bear with us. We've got to merge the two together. We just got to iron out some usability things so that it's easy enough to see the extra information we provide for people who are looking for Etsy keywords, doing their Etsy keyword research. So yeah, you'll get it. That's fine.
All right. Every time Anthony's here, we get all the suggestions. You get all the asks. Pam and I don't get these when it's.
I think I asked for it, so that's fine. Please.
Well,
I love the suggestions.
Well, here's another one. Let's see. It would be great if there was a sort within the sort. Example, I want long tail keywords of less than 20 characters. And within those results, I want Etsy competition sorted by decreasing results. I actually like the character length because that means that you can hit some good exact matches on tags.
Yeah. So we're working on that as well. We've had a few prototypes that work nicely. The challenge is just getting the design right and making sure that the usability is there. So it's going to be much like the include and exclude. You'll be able to click on the filter button and say, I want to filter on character count, and you want to give it a minimum and maximum value, or maybe just a maximum value. So you'll be able to do that. Then you'll get the results back. Then you can just click on the competition column and sort it by ascending or descending order. So we'll do that, and we'll add additional complexities as well. So you might want to say, I want it less than 20 characters. I want there to be at least 8,000 searches a month, and no more than 10,000 competition. So we're working on that. That's coming. It is super cool, but it's you don't get a lot of results, So you'll find very quickly that you get down to a handful of results at times, depending on how strict the criteria is there. Yeah. But it's very cool.
All right. Mandy had asked, I've just listed a classic set of handmade Christmas ornaments. I can't seem to find any keywords that aren't highly competitive for this set. And she said the issue is that they are classic. My other ornaments are dog related and they're ranking okay. Just put these up yesterday and today. Maybe classic isn't the correct word that you could be using. Maybe they're not vintage, but maybe they're kind of retro inspired. Maybe I know that right now one of the keywords I'm seeing on like the big the people who just go crazy about decorating like their Christmas tree every year in a different theme. Traditionalist Christmas is one of the big themes that I'm seeing this year. Retro, vintage. Obviously, you don't want to list it as a vintage product, but you could say vintage inspired. I think that there are a lot of different directions that you could go. But at the end of the day, if you've got Christmas ornaments in that listing, if you've got those keywords in there, you're still going to match for that search. And yes, it's highly competitive. Maybe people are searching by color. Maybe they're not searching classic. Maybe they're searching for blue or green. Maybe they're searching for a shape. Maybe they're searching for a style. There's a lot of different directions that you could go. Sometimes it's just hard to figure out what exactly people are searching for. I would recommend, again, going to the keyword tool, just typing in ornaments or Christmas ornaments or tree ornaments and scrolling down to that list of keyword suggestions and just kind of seeing what else is out there. And if you see a good keyword that feels a little closer to what you're looking for, click on that and it'll open another keyword tool page with even more keyword suggestions related to that specific term. And you can kind of start to narrow your way down this funnel until you find the perfect word.
I just add, don't be too worried about high competition. If you get fixated on must have low competition, just remind yourself that if there's something good about a keyword, other sellers jump in on it. And if no one jumps in on it, either you are the trendiest person on the planet or maybe it's not so popular. So don't be afraid of a little competition.
Yeah. And
throw in a few high and mediums in there.
Yeah, but if your listing's really great and people are buying it, you can start ranking for some of these keywords that you didn't think you could. And Christmas is the time. What you see is, there's highly competitive things, but there's lots of buyers come in, and some of those top, front page listings can sell out. and other people, you know, I see such a turnover on the front page with new listings coming in and stuff over Christmas because stuff is just selling that quickly. So, and I guess if people are finding your shop for your other things, they might scroll through and find these as well. So.
All right, let's see. For share and save, is it enough to just share the shop link that they gave us, which is the one that's the same that I've been using, or does it have to be for a specific listing?
Depends. If you're trying to, it depends what you're doing in your social media. If you're trying to direct people to a certain listing, use the link for that listing. If you want them to pop into your shop, you know, obviously if you just show them your shop link, then if they were looking for a certain thing, it means they've got to dig through, so that might put them off. So if you're focused on, hey, go and find these Christmas ornaments, the buyer's going to want to click on the link for that. But if you're saying, hey, I'm doing new stuff in my shop, come and have a look at my entire shop, then the shop link.
All right, let's see. The Source Matters asked, any advice for someone who just started is making 2 sales every 3 weeks? Keep researching, keep learning. External advertising is great. There are 3 sources of traffic when it comes to Etsy. You've got your internal traffic. That's traffic that's coming from Etsy search, SEO. That is your shop in the middle of a busy shopping mall where people are walking around shopping. And if you use good keywords and you've got great thumbnails and your products are hopefully attractive, people are going to wander in and find those listings. You've got external traffic. That could be places like social media. That could be any efforts that you're putting into building up your brand elsewhere. Maybe you've got a TikTok account. Maybe you've got an Instagram account. Then you have direct. Direct would be something a little bit more advanced, like an email list where those past customers that you've had, well, maybe you have a little QR code on your business card that goes into your orders that you ship out. Or maybe you message them after they place their order and you thank them and you say, well, you know, if you want to save 20% on your next order, here's a link to my email list, which you are allowed to add in your, you know, thank you for your order message. Etsy's actually got an entire article about, you know, their email marketing etiquette rules and things. But that would be considered direct. Starting out though, the 2 that I recommend tackling are obviously the internal SEO, people who are already shopping, they're in a buying mood. It's harder to take someone who's on social media to be social and convert them into someone who's in a buying mood. But you can also build up that social media following so that you're not just relying on Etsy traffic. And that's great for when we have a slow season. You know, we always during the summer see tons of people post, is it slow or is it just me? But we tend to see the people who have active social media accounts not do as bad, because though people might not be in a buying mood and they might not be shopping as much during the summer, they're probably on social media. They're probably scrolling through their Instagrams and posting pictures of their super cool vacation that they're on. And maybe while they're scrolling, they happen upon one of your products. So I would just recommend learning as much as you can, but choosing things to learn about in small dishes. You know, start on yourself on an SEO journey. We've got tons of videos on this channel that you can watch. And then maybe move on to an external marketing journey. Maybe you learn about Instagram's algorithm, for example.
Yeah, 2 quick things. Firstly, if you've just started, you're making 2 sales every 3 weeks. It's not what you want to hear, but you're actually doing quite good. Well done. People struggle getting their first sales. So you're already getting some data and getting some ideas of what's working. But also, we are just coming up to the busy season. So if keywords that you've chosen and stuff, if you're ranking for them, don't go changing everything right now. This would be the time to add your new listings, build up your social media and stuff. I'd say that for everybody, don't freak out and change all your listings just now, because they might be in the right place. They might just be waiting for the people to come just now.
Yeah, and since you're new and you've got a couple of sales, treat those listings as very precious. Leave them untouched. Don't mess with them. They could become a very good revenue stream for you over this holiday season.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it is 4 o'clock on the dot and we got through all the questions. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks to the like 5 people who are watching over on Facebook. We appreciate you. One of them's probably Debbie and one of them's probably me. But guys, we will be back next Thursday for another Q&A. Anthony, did you have any last minute things you wanted to?
Well, I sort of let the cat out of the bag about the browser extensions. So,
I think that's already been mentioned before.
Yeah, so I think if it's ready next week, like I hope it is, I'll probably join you two again, and we will talk about it and give a demo and maybe see if we can get a few people to install it and test it out for us.
Oh, fab. So guys, you got to be here this time next week.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Be there or miss out. Be here or miss out.
Right.